Good morning everyone. Today we are going to start with chapter 7, that is Glimpses of India. As the title itself suggests, it's about explained about some parts of India. 3 different parts are taken and poets here are giving their own reference about that part. They are feeling nostalgic. They are recalling their childhood times when they used to move in such places. So they are beautifully expressed by this poet. These glimpses of India, it's divided into 3 different parts. The first part is A Baker from Goa. A Baker from Goa. This is written by Lucio Rodriguez. And Lucio Rodriguez, he has written about, this chapter tells about bakeries in Goa. And how these bakeries are important here. Somewhere Portuguese they had ruled over and in ancient time there. So their effect remain on the bakeries, the bakers who sell those even today itself when they sell the bakery items. So their effect can be, Portuguese effect can be seen clearly on these bakers. So this part 1 will be telling, poet has beautifully expressed his childhood days, how when he was there in Goa and how when the bakers used to come, how did the children behave. So he is telling his experience in part 1. Part 2, Coorg, another place, a beautiful place which tells about a beautiful land, hilly area. This is situated between Mangalore and Mysore. So this place is being described by the writer, and it is because this is a land of rolling hills. So all those hilly areas are being beautifully described here. The people, the tribe, the traditions, all the poet. This poet is a writer. Lokesh Abrol. He is a writer. He has explained beautifully about people and the place and the culture of that place. And this land is known for most decorated Coorg regiment. So this place is famous for that also. And then third part is Tea from Assam. Tea from Assam, written by Arup Kumar Datta. He is telling about the popularity of tea all over the world. That how tea is famous all over the world, how much tea is sold even in the world. So he talks about all the popularity, origin of the tea he will be talking, and importance in India about the tea. About Assam, he explains the beautiful place that Assam also, the people there and their working there. So all these 3 parts which tells a glimpse of India, it gives a glimpse of India, tells about 3 different parts poet is talking about here. We read chapter wise, we read part wise. I will explain the story, and then after that you can do the questions. Okay, let's start with part 1 today. Okay, so let's start with the part 1, The Baker from Goa. As I told you, this is a pen portrait of traditional Goa village baker who has still an important place in the society. So bakers are very important in the life of the people of Goa. Our elders are often heard reminiscing nostalgically about those good old days, Portuguese days. Poet is saying, the writer is saying that our elders, they always used to talk about the Portuguese days, that what happened during those Portuguese days when they were there. So what sort of bakers were there, and how the effect of these Portuguese people was there in on all the people. So he's saying they were reminiscing. Reminiscing is remembering. Nostalgically something about the past, when you remember something about the past. So he's saying the people used to tell about the past, how the Portuguese people were when there. So what was the scenario in the city. So now and they used to talk about their loaves of bread. Their bread, it was very famous. They used to tell to the children. Those eaters of loaves might have vanished, but the makers are still there. He's saying those eaters, those they are referring to Portuguese people, the rulers. He's saying though the Portuguese people have gone, but they have vanished, they have gone, but the bakers still using the same tradition they are following, and they are still there. We still have amongst us mixers, molders, and those who bake the loaves. whenever any cake is baked or any this bakery is made, the bread is made, so there three different methods are used, three different steps are used. So first this is mixed, and then mixed up the dough is made, and then it is kept in the molds, and then it is baked, finally it is baked. So he's saying now still the same tradition is being followed by those molders, those makers of the bread. They are using the same Portuguese method, and these old time tested furnaces still exist. The fire in the furnace has not yet been extinguished. Furnace here is the fireplace. He's saying though the people have gone there, but their style remains there. The furnace still, the old days furnaces are there, old styles of making the breads are there. It is same as it was in earlier days. People are following the same thing. So here again he says that the third and now child, he is the writer is talking about his childhood days. What he is telling, that the third and jingle, third is the sound, jingle and third, they are the sound created by the bamboo of the baker. He's saying the traditional baker bamboo, when he traditional bakers bamboo heralding is arrival of about heralding is announcing his arrival in the morning, can still be heard in some places. He's saying even today itself, when what was the scene in our childhood, he's saying the baker used to come with a bamboo stick, and he created sound, third sound, with that bamboo stick he made some sort of sound, so that all hear and his arrival is known to everyone. So maybe he's saying, maybe today even father is not alive, but the son still carries on the family profession. May the father's ancestors have gone, but they have taught this art to their generation, and they are following this same methodology they of making the bakery items. These bakers are even today known as padder in Goa. Now these bakers, earlier they were known as padder in during the Portuguese times, but now also these people are called in Goa, they are called padders. Padders means bakers. During our childhood in Goa, the baker used to be our friend, companion and guide. He's saying children, for children naturally something eatable, if any seller is there, fruit seller or any other seller which is favorite of the children, and when they are selling, so these children are fond of that man who sells those things, because they bring their favorite things to them. He used to come at least twice a day, and once he set out in the morning on selling round, and then again when he returned after emptying his huge basket. So he's saying, writer is saying, when we were children, so baker used to come twice, one in the morning when the basket was full of eatables with bread, and then after emptying his huge basket at the end of the day, when the basket was finished, he emptied, it was sold, then this baker used to come to their house. The jingling thud of bamboo woke up them from sleep. We can meet and greet him. He's saying, whenever we heard the sound of, the children heard the sound of these bamboo sticks, so they came to know the baker has come, and they ran to meet him. And why it was so? Why was it? For the loaf of the bread? He's saying, it was not that we were running for the loaf of bread, not at all. It was not for the bread, but what was the reason? The loaves were bought by some Paskin and Bastin, the maid servants of the house. Paskin, Bastin refer to the servants of the house. He's saying these were taken by the servants of the house. We did not take the loaf of the bread. But what was the reason? The bread was not taken by us. So what was the reason they were running towards this baker? It was that we longed for those bread bangles which we chose carefully. Sometime it was sweet bread of special make. So now what was the reason why they ran behind this man, this baker? It was for those bangle cakes, like that. They were in the shape of bangles, these cakes were made, and so they are saying that we were fond of those bangle cakes, and we wanted to have, because these were made according to the choice of the children. Sweet bangles, sweet bread was made, and children were fond of these bangles, and they wanted to eat that, and they wanted to devour that. So that's why they run towards him to get those bangles. So he's saying, for those bread bangles, they used to go to that baker, and that was the reason that they waited for the baker. Now the baker made his musical entry on the scene. Because he was having a bamboo sticks in his hand, and he used to make that jingle sound with those sticks. With the jang jang sound of his specially made bamboo staff. Okay, so staff here is a stick. One hand supported the basket, on the other banged the bamboo on the ground. So he is saying one was carrying the one hand he was holding this basket, and with another hand he was holding that, making the sound with the bamboo. Now he would greet the lady of the house with good morning, and whenever he used to come to the house, he greeted the ladies, whoever was there, the owner of the house, then place his basket on the vertical bamboo. Wicked kids would be pushed aside with a mild rebuke, scoldings, and the loaves would be delivered to the servant. And children, because this is habit of the children, whenever any person comes who is having their favorite things to sell, so they peep over the things, they want all the things. So they also are doing the same things, they are peeping over in his basket, and then the mothers used to scold them not to come forward near the basket. So we would climb a bench on the parapet on there. Then what the children, when they were rebuked, what they used to do, then on parapet was there, a low height walls were made there. From those walls they used to peep over the basket, that are those breads, those Bengal breads were there or no. So then he is saying, I can still recall the typical fragrance of those loaves, and loaves for the elders, bangles for the children. Then we did not even care to brush our teeth and wash our mouths properly. Saying whenever we saw that the baker was there and he may be having the Bengal breads there, so we used to run, and we forgot that we haven't brushed our teeth, we forgot the hygiene and other things, because they wanted the breads at moment, those Bengal breads at that moment somehow. And why would take the trouble of plucking the mango leaf from the toothbrush? Naturally, earlier days, in earlier ways, toothbrushes were not there. Toothbrushes were, the mango leaves were used during those time. The mango leaves, the branches also were used for brushing the teeth. So he's saying, who will take pain to pluck the leaves, to pluck the brush from the tree, and then it was necessary at all. Why was it necessary? Naturally, for a child, it is useless thing to brush the teeth, and the tiger never brushed his teeth. So what was there? Logically, what they thought, that tigers never brush their teeth, so what happened to their teeth? So we will not brush. So this thinking this all, they thought he could wash and clean up everything so nicely after all. So they wanted the bread at any cost at that moment. Marriage gifts are meaningless without sweet bread known as bol. So now writer is telling about the importance of the bread, that how important the bread is for the people of the Goa, and it is on all the occasions it is made, the bread is made, is a part of the life. On all the occasions it is made in different forms. So marriage gifts are meaningless without sweet bread known as bol. So bol is again a type of bread. As a party of feast loses its charm without bread. It's saying no party is there where any form of bread is not used in Goa. Not enough can be said to show how important a baker can be for the village. So he's saying baker is very important for any village. All the marriages are incomplete without him. The lady of the house must prepare sandwiches on the occasion of her daughter's engagement. Even if the engagements were there, so sandwiches are must for making. So cakes and bolianas are must for the Christmas as well as other festivals. So another festival are there, any Christmas is there, any other festival is there, is saying cakes and bolianas are also a type of bakery. It's a bakery item. He is saying these are must to make. These are bolianas are coconut cookies. He is saying must to make on Christmas. So the ladies make these cookies on these festivals. Thus the presence of baker's furnace in the village is absolutely essential, very important. So he's saying in the village, baker's furnace, bakeries are must in any village, because these are a part of the lifestyle of the people. It has become now. Baker or bread seller of those days had a peculiar dress, a very strange dress. The baker, when in Portuguese times when they used to be there, so they have a dress which looked different then. It was called kabai, which was a single piece long frock reaching down to the knees. So it was a long frock type of dress which was used by these kabai. They used to wear it. In childhood, we saw the bakers wearing a shirt and trouser which were shorter than full length ones, longer than half pant. So just like half pants we people used to wear nowadays. So earlier days it was long than half pant. Such trouser was worn by these bakers. So this was their way of dressing sense. Even today, anyone who wears a half pant which reaches just below the knee invites a comment that he's dressed like a padder, a baker. He say even today in Goa, whenever anyone wear the below knees pant, so they people say that see he is dressed up like a padder. So padders were so important in those days. Okay, so then the baker usually collected his bills at the end of the month, and now because bakery was an important part of the lifestyle of the people, so bakery item daily used to come in the houses. So bakers, they did not take the payment daily, so they monthly they took it. At the end of the month they took the payment. And monthly, how monthly accounts were made during those times, they used to record on some wall in pencil, and there in the house somewhere in the pencil the people used to wrote that today we have taken this much thing and this was the amount. So the whole month they used to write on the wall. And baking was indeed a profitable profession in the old days. It was a profitable profession. People, whoever were the bakers, they earned a lot of money. And the baker and his family never starved. They were never that they were the people who were wealthy enough, those who used to be baker. He and his family servant always looked happy and prosperous. Prosperous is rich and well off, affluent people. He is saying those who are the baker, even they are servants, they looked that they were the prosperous people, wealthy people, and rich enough. They had all the luxuries in their life because they have earned a lot of money. So there, how the people used to identify that these people were prosperous, their plump physique, plump is the fat body, the fat physique, were an open testimony. Testimony is some proof to this. He's saying whoever was having a big tummy, plump body, so people used to say that this baker is prosperous enough, is earning much enough. Even today, any person with a jackfruit like physical appearance is compared to a baker. Jackfruit like now again, jackfruit is a fruit which is a plum fruit. It looks like round fruit. So he's saying whenever anyone is having a fat body, jackfruit like body, a fatty body, so the people used to say, see this, he looks like a baker. They compare this man to a baker. So well was reputed the baker during those times. Okay, so this is a chapter. We end up with part 1 of this chapter. Part 2 will continue tomorrow. Thank you.